Michelle Obama turned 50 on Friday, and the media are awash in tributes. Take this front pager in the New York Times. She has perfected a mean forehand, is working on her yoga poses, dishes with girlfriends over Brussels sprouts and dirty martinis. The Washington Post quotes White House aide Valerie Jarrett. She's at the top of her game. She's fabulous at 50. People magazine has a big spread in which the First Lady doesn't rule out using Botox, and CNN aired a primetime special called An Extraordinary Journey, Michelle Obama Turns 50. Joining us now from New York, Lola Ogunaki, a Today Show contributor and former New York Times reporter, and here in Washington, Julie Mason, who hosts the Press Pool on Sirius XM satellite radio. Lola, I know you're a fan of Michelle Obama, but isn't some of this, the tone of some of this, a little over the top?
Howie, she's turned 50. This is a huge milestone. And let's face it, Michelle Obama attracts eyeballs. If you want to sell papers, if you want people to click on your site, you put Michelle Obama up there and you put Michelle Obama on your site or in your pages looking fabulous at 50, and you're going to move product.
Well, maybe that's why everyone's doing it. Now, Julie,
absolutely.
The First Lady is popular. She's personable. She's a great mom. Not taking anything away from her. But the tone here of many of these pieces seems celebratory, and there wasn't even sort of the usual few paragraphs of skepticism.
No, and there's plenty to say about Michelle Obama. It's such an incomplete picture to be relentlessly fawning about her. She's much more complex than that. And sure, she's not an elected official, but she's an important public figure. There's much more to say. She's made some public missteps. You can take issue with her policy agenda, which is pretty light for someone with her influence.
And on that point, I mean, she did give what I thought was an important speech this week at a White House conference about encouraging low-income students to go to college. But even that was kind of brushed aside for all the stuff about Brussels sprouts and Botox.
It's a disservice to her. She was this professional woman. She's a strong woman. And all we talk about is her hair, makeup, and workout.
What do you think about that, Lola? Not to mention what she wears.
I think that's a legitimate concern. I do think that she is definitely a woman with tremendous substance, and I do wish that more of the conversation was focused on all that she's done as First Lady. That said, it's her birthday week, so we can talk about all that she's done and influencing policy next week. This week, let's just have a Michelle Obama party, okay?
No.
No? Julie, no?
No.
Wait, Julie,
no.
you can be
no
my
party.
You can be my +1, Julie. Are you sure?
But is it the media's role to be part of the party? I mean,
no, absolutely not. And that's what I'm saying. There are critiques to be made, and they very rarely get made. It's almost the Princess Diana phenom with Mrs. Obama. As Lola said, she sells a lot of papers and magazines.
And generates a lot of clicks. But the only interview she gave during this period was the one with People magazine.
It really disturbs me as a journalist. We push all the time for access from the White House.
You used to cover the White House.
Yes, I covered the White House, and I covered the East Wing, too, which is a real pressure cooker. And here the White House gives no access except to People magazine and still gets these fawning accolades. Where's the incentive for them to provide us with interviews? We undermine our own message here.
Lola, why, obviously, in addition to her other attributes, Michelle Obama is a role model because she's the first African-American in that post. I don't remember Laura Bush getting anything like this kind of coverage when she turned 60 when she was in the White House. When Hillary was in the White House, she turned 50. She was on the cover of Time. So you see some shifting standards here? I
don't see a shift in standards. I think it comes down to simply the fact that Michelle Obama brings eyeballs. I think if Laura Bush brought the same eyeballs or Hillary Clinton brought the same eyeballs, they would have gotten the same attention. Michelle Obama is more than a political figure. She's a pop culture phenom, and that's why she's getting all this attention. I've interviewed her twice over the years, Howie. She is a rock star. If you travel with her, people come out in droves in the streets. I've seen it in Pennsylvania, and I've seen it in South Africa. She's bigger than a political figure.
Well, the news media has in part made her a rock star. Laura Bush was an incredibly popular First Lady. I don't remember the media celebrating her the way they celebrate Michelle Obama. Very popular First Lady, but not a rock star.
Well, Julie, I can't argue with Lola's point that Michelle Obama, there's just this great interest in her. Look, she's very media savvy.
Dynamic character.
She goes on Jimmy Fallon or Ellen, and she dances, and she does a lot of shtick. But at the same time, just because she's popular and drives ratings, and look, we were all sensitive to that, it does raise questions of fairness, so that if we're in a position of celebrating her and she's a Democrat and a Republican First Lady didn't get the same treatment, that troubles me a little bit.
Yeah, and she is deserving of critical coverage. Where's the agenda? The high turnover in the East Wing. Some of her missteps kind of get glossed over because she is so popular.
Lola, you seem to be saying that we should focus on the substantive part of her job, but you would kind of give her a pass this week because turning 50 is such a baby boomer thing. We should all just revel in it.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Howie. I do think that she should be looked at and examined for the policy work she's done. She is a substantive woman. She's a brilliant woman. And I do think more of the focus should be on her brain and not her beauty or her brawn. That said, this week, let's focus on the other B, her birthday. And next week, Julie, next week, you can take her to task for not allowing you to interview her, okay?
Every day. I'm on that every day.
One of the penetrating questions in the People interview was, is it a lot of pressure to keep your arms so toned because there's so much focus on it?
It is anti-feminist, and she should speak out against that.
Well, nothing wrong with trying to look good.
No, you want to look good, but that is 100% of the coverage. Hair, makeup, clothes, celebrity.
Lola, you were going to say?
Look, I've got my arms out. I think Michelle Obama liberated a number of women in the news. We didn't have to wear the blazers and the shrugs and the cardigans anymore. You're doing your push-ups. She's working out. She is a billboard for her own message. She believes in health. She believes in eating well. What better commercial than Michelle Obama's arms? She's given us the right to bear arms, and I like it.
Lola Ogunaki in the sleeveless dress. Julie Mason here in Washington. Thanks very much for joining us.